Jai Gudev, good evening everyone. My name is Someshwar. I welcome all of you on behalf of Art of Living Organization to Yog Vaashishtha evening session. नमस्ते, मैं सोमेश्वर आप सभी का आर्ट ऑफ लिविंग संस्था की तरफ से योग वाशिष्ठ के सायंकाल के सत्र में स्वागत करता हूँ। टुडे वी आर ऑन 149th सेशन। आज हम लोग 149वें सत्र में यहाँ पे पहुंच चुके हैं। We'll continue to begin our session by chanting Om 3 times. अपने सत्र की शुरुआत हम लोग 3 बार ओमकार का उच्चारण करके करेंगे। Today we will see that we are on 127th sub-chapter here, and our today's topic is that we do see dreams, and these dreams, why any particular type of dream we see, is there any significance of any other factors which affects our dream? So definitely in today's knowledge session we'll see how the Vyadh, Kapha and Pitta, these are the 3 doshas inside your body. So this is something from this knowledge comes from the Ayurveda. So this because of this Vyadh, Kapha and Pitta and its imbalances, how does it have an influence on our dream? That is something which is a very secret knowledge, right? So we'll look into this knowledge, that is there any such impact and how it is, if it is so. And then we'll also see that what are these jiva bhava, this sanskara, the impression, the karma, the things that we do, the actions that we do, and the karma that happens, the papa and punya, the sins and all this. So what is the concept of all these things and how does that fits into this knowledge? So that is also we'll see. So that will also be unfold knowledge today. So let us see how does that unfold. But for our, once again I welcome all our Zoom participant, all our YouTube viewers and all our Facebook viewers to today's session. For now, let's all sit comfortably and close our eyes. Let us make our spine erect, shoulders relaxed, neck straight, and let us close our eyes. Let us keep our attention to our breath. Observe breath, speed of the breath, the temperature of the breath. And let go. Take one more deep breath. And let go completely. Experience that hollow and emptiness. Let us breathe in for the Omkar chanting. Let us invoke the divinity within. आवाहन कर ले. आवाहनम. पुनः पुनः सच्चिदानंद रूपोऽहम् शिवोऽहम् 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 Let's express our gratitude towards the divinity. गुरु वंदना कर ले. गुरुर् ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुर् साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः. तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः. Let us pray to the Master, whatever the words that come out of this mouth, whatever the actions that are happening, whatever the thoughts hover on to this mind and the power of discrimination arise in our intellect. Impressions that might be getting created in our memory, if still there is an iota of that I. Let all the known and unknown levels of our existence be inspired by the Master alone, day like this. If you have already experienced that this bandhan, this bondage is at the level of Chitta, what you are, nobody can bind it. Then let this remaining life be inspired by the Master. Feeling the presence of the Master within and outside. Slowly and gradually, you may open your eyes. Jai Gurudev, let's continue with our today's session. So we are looking into a story of a hunter. So there is this Asura that comes into picture, and then that Asura, because of the curse of the Muni, one of the ashram, he goes, and in that ashram, he does all the destruction over there. So he has been cursed by that Muni that he will become the small insect. He become the small insect, then he has been finished. He dies by the leg of the deer. He looks at the deer, he becomes the deer. So the deer is killed by the hunter. So he looks at the hunter. He, at the time of death, he looks at the hunter, he becomes a hunter. That hunter goes into one of the ashrama where he gets the sadhu sangha, the company of the good people, where he gets the knowledge, and because of that knowledge, he drops all the things and then he transforms himself into the sadhu, himself into the sannyasi, and then he continued to walk on that path along with the other Muni, which is there in that ashram. So that is where the conversation between these sadhu, that hunter, that Vyadha, and the Muni, that sage, that communication is such a wonderful communication where this Vyadha, the hunter, continue to ask the questions, and that Muni, that sage, continue to answer. Just like the question and answer session which is going on, that dialogue which is going on between the Vaashishtha Muni and Lord Rama. So that is what happens here, that is what continue. And then we have seen that how does that Muni explains to him, they experience all these things what you are asking me. I have entered into the body of my own disciple, and in after entering into his body through the siddhi called as parakaya pravesh, I have experienced multiple things. I have experienced the Jagrata Avastha, I have experienced the Swapna Avastha, I have experienced the Sushupti Avastha, I have experienced the Turiya Avastha, 4 modulations of this mind. Then I also experienced inside the dream, I have seen another dream. Inside that dream, I have experienced the Pralaya. Inside, because of these two awareness, these two Jiva Bhava, that came together, it appeared to me like 2 different universes, and they become one. And after that, I experienced all the other things, other aspects of life, which otherwise we are not able to see it ourselves, not able to experience it ourselves. So then he goes into the dream of that Shishya, that disciple. In his dream, he sees his own dream. And then in that dream, he lives for almost 100 years. And after that, the moment he become aware about that this is just a dream, that I am somebody else, then he just automatically comes out of those things. And then through that prana of that disciple, he just comes out of his body, the breath, into the prana, and he enters into his own body. So there's a very beautiful story of that thing went on. Now here the Vashishtha Muni continues that, hey Rama, this Muni, when he has entered into that disciple's body, that point of time, this Muni addressed this Vyadha, that he said that when I entered into that prana, that oja, that aura of that thing, and then I have witnessed in the form of that ultimate observers, whatever the things were happening in his chitta, in his jiva bhava, I experienced all that. And that point of time, even I experienced the other things, other people's, all the other relatives, etc., etc., and their cravings, and their, because of that craving, their own created chitta, akasha, etc., I have seen. Just like that inside that ankur, that sprout, that thousands of trees and its koshas in that bija Swarupa, it is there like that. I have seen all these things, and all these things were happening. I was able to experience that all this within the Pratyagatma, that Chaitanya. It was this just getting spuran in that. It was just appearing like that. But this were outside the world? No, that was not the condition. But just inside that, I was experiencing all these things. No, so all these anubhava, all this experience, if you see, it was just bhas, it was just eliciting at the level of Jiva. And in that Swapna Sthanupa, it is that moment is that yourself only, you will see all these things are happening like that. So when the dream comes, then the dream, so here it is where Vyadha explains that there are different types of dreams we see. So which are those dreams? So here he explains that because of this Indriyavati, when we saw a Swapna, the dream, this Indriyavati has come together, and then another Jiva, that Oja, that aura, that Teja Tattva, in that inside that it is very subtle body, that Linga Deha, that Atisukshma, when it enters into the different nadis. Now we know that there are 72,000 nadis inside our body, and in this body also, along with all the other sapta dhatus, med is there, you have blood, then you have others, asti is there, med is there. So all these things, different things are, your rakta is there, no, blood is there. So there are some 7 different dhatus. Then there are so many different body parts. Likewise, there are 72,000 highways, nadis are there, your veins are there inside our body. Now discuss this when we have seen the Nadi Vigyan. That point of time, this was discussed in detail. So in these nadis, all these things which the rust, that juice, or the lymphatic fluid, or the blood that goes through all these things, and that is being also induced in the form of different Vata, Kapha, and Pitta. These are the 3 rasayana. These are the 3 different type of doshas, what we call. They are the things that is there in inside our body. And now the when one of the element is dominating, predominating, then that point of time you will see a very typical type of dream. So based on that, the dream which arise the dosha of kapha, the dream which arise because of the pitta dosha, and the dream which arise of the vata dosha. These are the three different types of dream. And then other than that, when these things are not in balance, these three things are not in balance, and then they go haywire, that point of time you see some chaotic dream. So that also is being explained over here. So he says that if you see, this is called as this prana, this jiva bhava, when it travels through its different nadis, and in those nadis while traveling through this, if there is a more kapha, that kapha is there, it is more that quantity or that dosha has increased inside you, and you have that kapha, right? So we also say, it's a vyadhi, it's a disease which comes in the form of cold and cough. So seeing that cough that is there inside your body, and that has become more, because if you you are allergic to something, or a certain type of food, it doesn't suit you. It is the prakriti that at the time of birth, each one of us has a particular dosha which is predominant since your birth. So somebody is predominant with kapha dosha, somebody is predominant with vata dosha, somebody is predominant with the pitta dosha. And then also our routine, the day-to-day routine, at what time you wake up, at what time you sleep, even during the daytime also, this vata and kapha and pitta, it has the predominance in the during different time frame. That is what that the daily routine is there. And also it is dependent upon the season, in which season you're in. It also dependent upon what you eat. So because of all the factors put together, this vata, kapha and pitta, their balance happens or it goes out of balance, and then one of them have more predominant effect on our body. And with it we do observe that even on the outer, when we are in a Jagrata Avastha, it does have an effect on our body also. Similarly, in a similar fashion, it also have an impact on what type of dreams will come when a particular type of dosha is very predominant. That is what the knowledge is. It was so amazing, a very beautiful link between these two. So what happens when a kapha dosha is predominant? So in that item said that what is the nature of kapha dosha? It is that bulky substance, it is that cool because of that thing, and there is an element of the prithvi tattva, the earth element, and the jala, the water element. So that thing put together forms the kapha dosha. So when obviously in such a situation, what is it that dream will come? Something related to some qualities related to that. So here that Muni explains to Vyadh, that point of time you see yourself as if you are traveling, and then you are going around the ocean, and that point of time you will see that there is a moonlight that is dawn, that is moon is dawn, and you will see that, and then you'll see around, you will find yourself around the water, and that point of time you will see yourself, there are lotus flowers are there, and then basically you will see something which is very Allahdaik, something which is very calm and quite dream is what you'll see. Probably you'll see the ice there, probably you'll see the Himalayas, the mountain Himalayas, the mountain which is full of that white himakand, that ice is there, like it's full of ice. So like that you'll see something which is related to that. Then you'll see that moonlight is all spread, it's a full moon, and the moonlight is all spread like that. So if you see it, all these things are something related to that kapha dosha, that then you will see that all these white clouds are there, and then you will see that you are taking a rest, calm rest, and like that. So then this, even the sound of that flow of the water which is going, and how does it is very soothing, that kind of sound you will hear, and then you will see all the flowers are blossomed, like that you will see in all these things when your kapha dosha is predominant. Then he say, when your Pitta dosha is predominant, what is it that you will see? That then that point of you will see in your all the nadis. That is more. Then at that time you will see the Vayu, that thing which is full of. Now what is Pitta? Pitta is a combination of fire and the water put together. It's the Pitta. That is how the Pitta is formed. So then that point of view, you will feel that all your nadis, that you will feel yourself as the tree which is doesn't, it is completely dried out. You'll feel like that. Then you're, because of this Pitta Prakopa, then you'll feel that all your veins that are like hot blood streams, then you will see that there is a fire that is going on. Then you'll see that inside your stomach also, that thing, that Pitta, because of that Pitta, that jet will be there, and then there will be a burning sensation. That is all physical level you see, but that also has an impact on your dream also. So then you see that all the this Agni, that fire is on, there is a fire that is going on inside the forest, and then you will see that the entire ocean, it is starts boiling, and then it is releasing all the vapors, and the vapors are coming, and it's very hot season, and in this entire Traloka everybody is sweating. See, all these things are the symptoms of when you get affected by the Pitta dosha. And the same thing that you will see inside your dream also. Then that time sometimes you will see something which you have never seen. Such type of things also it will appear to you. The Mrugajal that is appear to you, that something which is there, that mirage will appear to you. Like that you will see. Then when you are dominant by the Vata, that is the Vayu, which is dominant by the air element, that is called as Vata. Then what type of dreams that you will see? See, if the once we have seen that Pitta and Kapha that is not there, then what of time it will be predominant with the Vata element. That is with the it's air element, and because of air, that Vata comes into picture. So that is also one of the dosha. And you will observe that inside all your nadis, this Vata is flowing through your body. So that, so you know, when you are suffering from Vata, the diseases such as your arthritis and that kind of things, that your all the bones they will pain and all that thing, so your body will ache, all that is a Vata lakshana. So but the same will have an impact on your dreams also. What kind of dreams that you will see at that point in time? You will see that there are all these different types of mountains, oceans, etc. So they are all flying in the air. That is what you'll see. You will see yourself into the form of horse, or the camel, or the Garuda, the bird. Or you'll see yourself as a cloud, or the Hans, the swan. You'll see yourself into the Antariksha and that Vayu Skandha. You'll see yourself in the form of Kendra, Vidyadhara, and then you are all flowing through. So that is all Vayu, that is all Vata element. Then you will see that this all the mountain, trees, etc., there, and they are all having a fear, all the people having fear, and they are all shaking. So that shaky environment will be there. And then you will see that you have fallen into the deep well, and then there is so like that. So all this bhas, all these things will see yourself into the dream when you the Vata is predominant in your body. And when this all these three doshas, when it has gone into extreme haywire, that Vishayam Avastha have happened, then that point of time, this Vata, Kapha, Pitta, this Ji dosha, they have completely have an imbalance in that thing. That point of you will see that you have stuck into the all the big stones, all the big meteorites are coming and they are falling, all the Vriksha Samuhas, they are all just flying in the air in all the dishas, in all the direction. You will see that there are wild animals, there are elephants, such big animals that will come. You will see that all these clouds are full of that water element, and they are all making a very scary sound. And then you will see that into the thing that all these things you will find yourself stuck into, and it is being locked by all the big, you will find yourself into the cave and you have been blocked there with all the stones. Like that, there are many such experiences that you'll get in your dream. Then inside the your nadis, this vatadi doshas, when they are there, then you will see that all the pashanas, all the stones that are falling, no, then you will see that all the twister of that thing, that is all coming, all the tsunami of that twister is coming. Then you will see yourself that all the atirikis, those terrorists are coming and they are trying to kill you. No, like this, there's some sankat, something, some sort of things will come into your life. You will see that your jiva bhava has become completely inertia, jada bhava is there, and then it has completely frozen, and you lost the senses. No, you are not able to move. Like these all different type of things that you will experience. Then you will see that in the nadi, when you enter into this, jiva goes into the purva bhava. Then that pranava is there, that prana is there, and the spandana of that also become very feeble that point of time, and it will experience that it has been caged somewhere. Now it find itself into the cage, or it has entered into some deep inside the earth, and he has stuck over there and is not able to come out of that. These kind of dreams also they will come, and that point of time you will also experience the sushupti avastha. And then this entire awareness, the mind, and it has gone very feeble, and you have fallen inside the well which has have a darkness. In that, these kind of some different dreams that you will see when it all goes haywire. So that's all been explained here. So now let's continue with the things. So when this discussion is happening, that point of time, this Vyadh and Muni, they also discuss about something called as the Papa and Punya, the sin and the good deeds, bad deeds, the sanskaras, the impression, vasanas, cravings, karmatma, the one who is feeling that doership, and its swarup and its nature. So that is also very well explained over here. So let us look at it, what that knowledge is coming here. So here we say that while explaining this body, this mind, and all its interlinked things, you have explained me that point of time, this Vyadha, this hunter, asked the question to the Muni. So he says, Bhagwan, if you look at, now he has multiple questions. No? So he is now really asking very deep questions over here. Let us look at all these questions and let's see whether we get an answer for that. If not, then we can discuss it. No? If something is left out, we can always discuss that. You're welcome to ask that question. So he says here, Bhagwan, this Jiva Bhava, that consciousness, that individual consciousness, it experiences the Jagruta Avastha, the four modulations, Jagruta Avastha, Swapna Avastha, etc. Then it experiences the Kala, the time, and the Niyati, something which has already been defined, redefined, etc. etc. You have explained these things into very detailed. Yet I still have something more to know. That curiosity is still there in me. So kindly explain me, what does that happen when someone's body is destroyed? Deha path means someone is died and that body is not there. After that, how does he continue to experience the sukha and dukkha? Then in that thing, how does he gets into the new body? Then what is the upadana karan? For everything there is a cause and effect. For example, this clay is an upadana for the pot. So like that, what is the upadana for this? What is that mula bhandval? What is that principle? The interest is what is that we see is fine. What is it, that principle that is there? What is the mula bhandval? Then inside that, which is the other supporting cause and effect of that? For example, suppose if you want to make a pot, obviously you'll require a clay, so that is upadana. But then you will also require an effort, man efforts. You'll also require that something, that rotating wheel. Then you'll also require water. So there are a few more causes, a few more things that you'll need for that. So what are a few more additional, etc. Causes for this situation, this thing to appear, to experience that, and to go and become the new body? Then if we see it from the perspective of the karma, I also have a word that because of this karma, that this body comes into picture. And then because then once this, I have heard like this, because of this body, because of this karma, this body comes into picture. Then when this body comes into picture, it continue to do the shubha and ashubha, good and bad karmas, in the form of the papa and punya, good deeds and the bad deeds. And then Because of that, the sanskara comes into picture. Right? Those karmas forms and those action forms an impression inside you, so it gets into translated into karma. So that thing, then because of that sanskara, the dharma and adharma, that thing comes into picture. And because of that, because of the sanskara which has the adrishta, that atindriya sanskara, into that karmajanya sanskara, that becomes the root cause for the punarjanma, the rebirth here. And then like that, when you do this karma, and that point of time, the deha, this the nivritti of that, what is it that will make you free from this body? Because this body is there, and if it continue to perform the karma, again the birth and death, that will continue to happen. What is it that that one can get out of this? Then in such a situation, how the knowledge from, and in such will happen, but how does that knowledge will still remain? How does it doesn't get diminished? And into this knowledge, into this thing, how does this deha bandha, this body which experience the bondage, and how does that sukha and dukkha, that will sukha dukkha nasha, means how does that will remove that? How can I get out of it? Then how can we say that when this have happened, that sukha and dukkha has completely destroyed? How can one say like this? And then if you see it from perspective of your deha, your body, till the point of you are continuing to do karma, this karma will be there, the body will remain, the body will remain, the karma will keep happening, and like this I will get stuck into this. Then how will I get the moksha? See, fundamental questions that Vyadh, because of the intelligent, is asking all these fundamental questions. And then in such a situation, we have to say that this is moksha, and that there is a bhava of this moksha, this prasanga. This becomes vicious life cycle where there is no way out. Then I will not get the moksha. Then how do I? Then other thing, if we see it, that this body is there and this body consciousness is there, and the karan, that cause of that is this karma, this all these karmas which are continuously running. And then there is this aniyat and anishchitval, and of that karma, what fruit you will get, that is also not fixed. That is also keep on changing. And in such a situation, that jiva, that which is there into his nitya, if it is there, it goes into this dharma and adharma. And then that point of time, it experiences the papa and punya, the good deeds and bad deeds, because of the karma phala of that thing. And then you go beyond this moksha. Then how does that moksha will they will attain in their life? Sambhavta. And then kindly explain me. Now this is something which you know, you are Atmagyan, so you know all these things. Kindly please explain these things to me in detail. Now that is where the Muniraj explains to him about all this. What is papa, punya, sanskar, vasana, dharma, adharma, etc., etc. The real meaning of it. So this is where he begins. So first itself, people put that atom on. No? He says that, Are Vyadh, look this, oh Vyadh, oh Vyadh. Whatever you said, dharma, this adharma, which means good deeds and bad deeds, pap and punya, vasana, cravings, karmatma, the lordship, sanskara, the impressions, jiva bhav, that individual consciousness, buddhi, the intellect. He says these are all just synonyms to each other. In reality, even though these different words are there, the real and the real meaning of that is, and how the meaning of that is just only. Let us look at that. It's very beautifully. So this is very beautifully he explains that. We'll go into detail of this. But let us just understand how all these things are happening and how this thing comes into picture. Why it is being said that all these things are same. No? So we have seen that chronological order of this Utpatti. I'll not repeat everything in detail, just the chronological keywords I'll take. So we have the Chaitanya, we have the Chaitya, then we have the Chitta. Chitta is nothing but your intellect, your aham bhav, ego sense, your smriti, your memory, and your mind. That combines together Chitta. Then you have your prana, breath, and then you have your body, physical body. These five senses, which is formulated using the Pancha Mahabhuta, 5 elements, and the 5 Panchatanmatra, Rasa, Rupa, Gandha, all those Panchatanmatra, that comes into picture. So all this put together, we have seen it in the Utpatti Prakarana. Now, because of this body has come into picture. Now what this body has come into picture, this body is continuing to do some actions, right? Now, some actions will make an impression on your chitta. Some actions won't. For example, I picked up the water here, I drank the water. What is the impression here? There is no karma that will happen. You go and pass on the urinate. Is there any impression? Is there any karma that has happened? There is no karma that has happened. It is just a routine thing that you are doing. So like that, if you continue to do any such action, or you continue to do not any action, you continue, the other person in front of you continue to do any action or not continue to do any action. If there are no other person, if just the things are there in front of you and you have an opinion or things, something happens, some accident happens, some scar, scratch happens on your car. So thing is there is no person. And then what is the thing, that impression that you are creating on your, because of in all this situation, either through your action, inaction, other person action and inaction, and so through some Vyakti, Vastu, Paristhiti, means people, situation and object. Because of that, if some impression is formed inside your chitta, means the karma is formed. And that accumulated impressions put together is called as sanskara. Clear? This is very clear that how does the sanskara comes into picture. So that is called as sanskara. Now what is it that because of the, why do we take the next birth? Is because of this karma that we form as a sanskara, either good or bad. Because of that, to feel, experience the fruit of that, you have to come back here again. Then you will take your new birth. Now to go through that new birth, again you accumulate the karma, and that is how you're stuck into the circle. Vicious life cycle of death, birth, you're stuck. How does one get out of it? What is the solution? We have to stop that. There's some bank balance is there. That bank balance is there. You have to keep on withdrawing, means keep on paying off. Means the fruit of those sanskara, those bhog that you have to go through. You have to finish it out. So you keep withdrawing that and keep spending it. But don't formulate any new karma. Means don't formulate any new impression inside your chitta. You are already free. No? So this is a solution for that. So this is how. So now let us how this is explained here. So here he says that according to the Vihita Shastra, if you see it from your Acharana, if it is according to the Shastra, it's considered Shubha Karma. If it is according to the Nishiddha, something which is not told, if you do that, it's called Ashubha Karma. Then this Shubha Karma or this Ashubha Karma will form an sanskara inside you, and then that sanskara will translate into some punya, good deeds, and some papa, the bad deeds, and then that thing come together, put together, this sanskara put together, that is what will be formed, and the Chidabhasa, that Chitta Pratibimba, that is called as that mana, that mind will take the form of the jiva here, that will become jiva. Now this jiva along with this prana, when that vibration is going on, that spandan is going on, it will hook on to into the indriya, the 5 senses, and that thing, when this prana and its kriya shakti is happening and the indriya will do some actions, you will consider yourself the same thing. You will consider yourself as a karmatma, that I am the doership here. So that karma will come into picture, and that karma means karma karne wala, means the one who is doing karma. Then because of that, the cravings will come into picture, that I want to do this type of karma. I want to do this action because I want to achieve such and such things. So your vasana will come into picture, your cravings will come into picture. Because of that cravings, and where does this craving will form? If this craving will be induced because of the things which you see outward, or else because of your past karma, because your past sanskara, that type of vasanas, that type of your cravings will keep picture, and then according to that, according to this dehadika, this body, you will start acting based on that, and then you will do this. So that is what will happen. So that is what you'll keep on continue to do action. Now that point of time, this sanskara is also kevala chitta. That chit is there, not chitta, chit. So that thing is there, and in that chit, this either in the amurta sthiti or murta sthiti, means either expressed or non-expressed in the form. In both the sthiti, this drishyakara and the one which is taking it along, that Chida Bhasa, that Chida Swabhava, that thing will form into the form of intellect. It will become your buddhi. Because of that sanskara, the thing, it will take the form of your buddhi. Now, because of the buddhi, because of the intellect and its bhava, then this anta sanskara is not different. It is the same thing which is taking the form of the buddhi intellect. And this sanskara, this continuous, this prakriya, how does the sanskara get formed? It's a continuous process. It's continue to happen like that. It's a continuous process that goes, and then the fruits of that, the parinama of that, fruits of that, that forms your purva rupa based on your past thing. That will become your sanskara, and it will be there. So because of that sanskara, that whatever the karya, that actions that you do, it will get translated into the form of kruti. Some actions that you do, which is based on the karya, that what actions that you do based on what is that you want to achieve, and then you start putting an efforts, that yatna, and then that samyak karan is called as sanskara only. No, so because of this sanskara, you get into the kriti lakshana. That is the sanskara, that is the atma. So that atma is only experiencing all these things. It is only expressing all these things. So that atma sarupa, that chetana, is the kriyashila rupa in this form. So that kriya shakti comes into picture. Your actions and karmas comes into picture. Now, he continued to explain that whatever you are referring to as sanskara, this sanskara is not something which is outside thing. No, this is there inside your antakarana. Inside you, this sanskara gets formed, and then this into the jagruta avastha, it is into the hidden form, and into the swapna avastha, it is into the drishya, the scenery, like that. So in if somebody asks you, okay, show me where this sanskara is, can we show it somewhere? We cannot show it sanskara. So where does it comes into picture? So he says that this sanskara is there in your chitta akasha. It is inside your chitta. It is there in just like an ultimate observer, that sakshi bhuta chaitanya, that ultimate observer. How does that remain? Like that it remains. So if you see, if you really want to make you understand and explain this thing to you from the perspective of, let's say, medical science, biology, where does this all happen? They say that it all happens inside your brain. So inside your brains, inside all your things, that neuropeptides that gets formed. So typical type of chemical which forms when any particular type of emotions arise in us. So it is stored into the form of that chemicals. So what is it? That memory is what you call, it is inside the brain, all the neurons that gets connected with each other, and because of that it is forming some chemical weights, some chemicals, some neuropeptides. It is in the form of that, it stores that. That is nothing but becomes your memory. That is what is becomes your sanskara. So if from a medical perspective we see, we'll see that there are thousands and crores of such sukshma species as cells are there into your brain, and that is where all this prakriya of all these emotions of cravings, kama, krodha, mada, motsa, different emotions, different vikaras, etc., it will be there in that form. And whenever the same situation, same vyakti, vastu, paristhiti comes in front of you, then the same emotions will be fighting. That is because of these neuropeptides. So that is a perspective of little bit of modern science to it. And if you want to go details of this, one can do the wellness program of Art of Living. You will get a detailed knowledge about this. It's very well explained. How does you maintain your body? How does you keep your body healthy? How does you keep your mind? Very beautifully designed course. Another very beautiful pearl from Gurudev to us. So it's worth doing that wellness program. So that is what is explained here. Then he says that this Jagat and this Paramatma and its cause and effect, and this Karya and its Karana Bhav, means the cause and its effect. How is that? So he says that if you see it from that perspective, this Paramatma, that whatever the divinity, that Chaitanya, what we don't know, we just call it as Paramatma, some Ishvara. So that thing is the this Jagat. What is this Jagat which appears? It is the Karana, it is the cause and effect of that. This Chaitanya itself appears into the form of this Jagat Rupa, and that is what is the Karya here. That is what is the action here. So if you see it from the perspective of the Purva, the past, the Purva Siddha, it is there in the form of this Bija Rupa, that is called as Samanya. That's called that city which is there. For example, like a clay is there, and it is in the Samanya Rupa, the clay is there. How does it become the cause of creating an pot? So that pot, creating it as a pot, has become the Vishesha Rupa of that thing. Now it has taken form, so it becomes an adjective kind of thing. It is the some Vishesha Rupa, some form. So that clay is the Upadana Karana, cause of that thing, of the pot. So that pot has an purpose. So it has become an just clay. There is no the pot. It has a form. It has name, and then it say so like that. So then it has an karya. Then you can hold on to. You can put a water inside that. Then it's that is a reason there. So like this. So if you see it from that perspective, this Paramatma is what is the Karana of this entire. It has just expressed itself into this form of that. So if you see, the one more thing that you ask is about the past, like that Punarjanma, that rebirth. So if you see it from that perspective, I have already told you that how is the Purva Rupa, that because of the Sanskara that comes into picture. Now let me tell you, into this Jiva Bhava, that individual consciousness there, and if you see that there is a Paraloka, there this intellect comes into picture, and the Paraloka knowledge, that thing appears to look like a dream here. Then in that thing, it just go ahead and expresses as if someone is in a deep sleep, and how does they see the dream? And in that dream, they just do the kalpana. They just imagine the body of the thing, and they start looking at like that. So even if someone is died, someone is that Mrityu is there, someone is died, that point of time, the body is lost here, but that chitta is still there. And then the chitta, even though for us in a material, it appears that there is one Pitta, there is this mother, out of that, they do the sex, and the mammals comes into picture, they take a birth. Even though all these things appear, it is all there. In reality, this is just the Brahma. All these things doesn't really happen like that. It is just that chitta, it just assume that it is just the kalpana of some body, and then it comes into existence. And this, so all these things we see, this is happening like this. But here it is said that it is like this. It is that I see itself into the new form, and that is where say. So this is explained little bit in Shrutis also. What is this been said in Shrutis? So here he says that in Shruti there is this shloka called Tadeva Sru Dashtaiva Tadeva Anu Pravishyata. So he says that here it is explained that this Deha has this Deha is created, body is created, and then I have entered into this body. This after this Deha is created, I have entered into this body, I have done the pravisha. This is what is been said in Shruti. But if you see it from the Paramartha's perspective, then what is it that? It is that Swata, that Akasha Sarupa. It is the Swayam, that self, which is Nirakar, which is formless, the one which is beyond Utpatti, the creation and the death, is beyond that. In the Shruti Vachana is there, then how does that one will create itself? No, it doesn't fit into. Okay, then he also says that, okay, if you say that it has created, if it has done Utpatti, means it has created itself. So if that is also not true, then if we say that it has created something new, so that is also not true. Nothing new is created here, right? Even though it appears that there are different bodies, that Chaitanya is still same. So that it has created something new, that also doesn't fit here. So like that, if something new has been created, how does it get that knowledge that somebody is created and it cries, and then automatically it starts drinking the milk from the mother? How does that knowledge comes into picture if it is newly created? Somebody has to impart that knowledge. So that is not. So it has this knowledge. This knowledge is there. This inbuilt intelligence is already there, which is has learned over a period of time from the past. Something happens like this, and then that is in the form of your DNA. So you have learned that it is there with you. No? Such a beautiful explanation, that look at how deep it is taking us to this knowledge. So it knows that intelligence is. So it has to be same Chaitanya. It cannot be different. Every time it's not creation of new. So if it is new, then you have to teach. Then again, so it knows that Chaitanya knows all these things. Some of the basic things, that thing it knows. No, otherwise how it will remember that thing? So he says that because of this Purva Siddha and this Nitya, Janma Mrityu Rahit, this birth and life, which is beyond the birth and that Atma, that thing is the reality. It has taken the abode of that this, which is there into the form of that Shunya Akara, the one which if you say that Jiva is died and then it has taken an birth again, then definitely that's not true. He said we cannot say like this. If you see it from a perspective of Janma and Manadi, this Atma is beyond all these things. So this Chitta is the one which says that I am this body. No, I have created it. That too it is false. That too it is just a kalpana. But it just says that I have created. It says that I am the creator. I am the doership. That doership is also taken by Chitta only, not by Atma. Atma doesn't have any such doership. No? So it is that, and that too keval bhava. That is just an vasanatma. That is because of the craving. It says that it does this kalpana, it does this imagination, and because of the sanskara, it becomes the Duruda Chilkara, and we continue to experience that I am this body. This is the world. I am experiencing these different emotions in this world, like that. Then you consider that only as Satya, and it is stuck into that. But if you see it from the Jiva Bhava's perspective, all these koti, these many millions of these things, which is actually in reality they don't exist only. So they are not there. But this Atma, that thing that is which is there, which is that this Ek Jiva, that this entire Jagat is nothing but that same Chaitanya only. Other than that, there is nothing else. Like that, only you do the things. That is what is one. And because of that, only all these Prithvi Vyadhi, all these Panchamahabhuta, these 5 elements, and the 4 types of these Jiva Srishtis, etc., that Jiva Bhava, that comes to existence, and it just expresses itself into all the Vyavahara, all the daily routine that one appears to be doing in this Srishti, and it appears as Satya, but it's just a Bhasaman. No, it's just elusive thing that happens. Paramartha Drishti, if you see from a spiritual angle, it is that Aja, Ekarasa, that Brahma Rupa is the only truth. That is the only thing which is there in all these things. In Paramartha Rupa, if you see that the Jnaya, that knowledge of that thing, and if you see that something which is not knowledge, that Ajnana, that it appears as Asat, to the knowledgeable one, he knows that what this world is all about. But the one who is in ignorance, he thinks that this world is, he thinks that I am this body, he thinks that this Chitta thinks that I am that. So that doership comes into picture, this world comes into picture, and it says that it's all real. But the one who is knowledgeable, he knows that this is not true. So like that, this with this Javi, this awareness which is there, it is just takes the different forms, not in real, just Vasmansam Jelijo things. That is what is the avidya of this samsara. So that is what comes into picture, and like that, if that is not to, who else will take that decision? Nobody else exists to take a decision. So it is just that thing which expresses itself. Other than that, there is nothing else. No, it is that Ekatattva, that Dvaita is not there. We cannot say any sort of something about this, that it is like this or it is like that. But we can just experience that. That is the real thing. That is the thing which is worth experiencing in our life, and that is so he tells to that Vyadha, see, look at you now, though you also become knowledgeable, you all also become Jnani. So you drop all these other things, that thing, that I am this body, I am this, that, and you are stuck into all this Sukha, Dukkha, Karma, Sharira, whatever the things, so many things that you ask me, this Papa, Punya, good, bad, all these things, Sanskara, Buddhi, this, forget about all these things. In reality, it is just that one Chaitanya that is there, and you hold on to that. This knowledge has dawned to you, and now do whatever that things. No, so don't waste your time in achieving all the small little things, temporary things here and there. So don't waste your time. Don't spend time, your valuable time. Just be into this Atma Bhava. But if you tell you have to do some Purushartha, you do to make yourself experience this Atma knowledge, this Atma Jnana. That is what the Vyadha also tells to that is also the Muni also tells to that hunter, which the Vaashishtha Muni also is telling to the Ramak, that which we are also discussing it here in our sessions. Amazing, no? Really amazing. So I'll take a pause here. There is chapter number 5 and 6 of this between the dialogue between these two. That is something which we'll see tomorrow. I'll take a pause here. I'd like to hand over this session to all of you. You are welcome to ask any questions if you have, or you are welcome to express yourself. What are your takeaways? What are you learning from today's session? Unmute option is being made available. You are welcome to unmute yourself and speak. Over to you all. Jai Gurudev.
Yeah, so it is Jai Gurudev, and it's really very beautifully we have been going through this, and with quite clarity also. One thing I was thinking is the dreams which we told according to the doshas that we have, right? So are they with the karma? They are not with the karmas then, because we are seeing with the doshas, and those doshas are, that is what we have our lifestyles, that is what you eat and everything, and also is depending on that, right? And according to Ayurveda, we can have the balance in all the doshas. Even that is right. That is what we do. So here the karmas are not included at all. No memory, nothing. Is it like that? Or some here and there mix?
Definitely your mind. See where the dreams are observed. See there in chitta. The chitta is the one which is observing the thing. So whatever it is said, no, that आपके जो मन में चल रहा होता है वही आपको स्वप्न में भी दिखता है. There, whatever is going on, the effect of that you see in the swapna also. So here it is that other thing, what is because of your sanskara, because of the other things, that dream is influenced. Even though that aspect is not discussed here, we definitely know that your mind is influenced by the people, your mind is influenced by the location, your mind is influenced by the food that you eat, your mind is influenced by the time, that samay kala where you are into it, your mind is influenced by even the planetary positions. It has an impact, for sure it has an impact, there is no doubt about it, sir. And if it is an impact on your chitta and your thoughts, it obviously have an impact on your dreams also, and we cannot discard that knowledge. Now that aspect is not discussed doesn't mean that it is not saying that is not true. So it is adding few more elements to it, that if you see, if this particular predominant in your body, which is always there, always at any given time, some vata, kapha, pitta, that will be there, or it will be balanced or it will be imbalanced, something will be more, because of the, again the same thing, because of the body, because of the season, because of the food that we eat, because of the location which we are into. For example, Sangeeta ji has moved to US, and वहाँ पे बर्फ गिर रहा है, तो उसका इफेक्ट तो होगा ना. एंड अच्छी एक्सपीरियंस इनिशियली, वो यहाँ से जब शिफ्ट हुई तो हुआ, शरीर के ऊपर प्रभाव तो पड़ता है, तो बोलते ये शरीर के ऊपर प्रभाव पड़ता है, तो दैट हैज एन इम्पैक्ट ऑन योर ड्रीम्स आल्सो. तो किस तरह से इफेक्ट करता है, तो बोलते जब कफा ज्यादा हो जाता है तो ये ऐसे ड्रीम दिखते हैं, जब वाता ज्यादा हो जाता है तो ऐसे. सो दिस हाउ इट इज एक्सप्लेन, बट दैट इज नॉट डिस्कार्डिंग दैट अदर knowledge source that is also there. And I do agree with Sangeeta ji that it also have an impact on your dreams also. Yes.
Yeah, good. And many other points we saw, like how the whole thing is, the whole picture of everything, from your chitta akars to everything, whatever is happening. But then ultimately when you experience that chitta akars, so all this dissolves. So that mind which is becoming, has the a property of division, actually, I can tell you. Just as fire has the property of that, that heat, that is the natural intrinsic property of fire. Just as water has the coolness, exactly, mind has the property of division. So the minute it divides, it will take you away from the Brahman. And then world appears, everything is real. Then you come into that dream and you act in that way, in that ego sense. But when again you go to Brahman, it just demolishes everything into that one, and then you are that love, that peace, that joy, that fountain of love, what you experience, it's that. So it's so easy to, differentiate where you are. And it is a very hairline fracture, I think. But just you're here or you're here. So it's just like that. So keeping a watch on yourself, being in awareness every time gives you the result where you are. Exactly. That thermometer is always there ready to tell you. I feel that really. It's so apt, so apt. Yeah. So thank you for all that you have. It was very, very, very informative, very beautifully. You have summarized it, everything. Wonderful it was. Thank you. Jai Gurudev. Over to you.
जय गुरुदेव संगीता जी। और किसी को अपने आप को व्यक्त करना है तो जरूर आप अनम्यूट करके व्यक्त कर सकते हैं। Can share your takeaways, your contributions. If you have any questions, you are welcome to do that also. If not, then we'll take a pause here so that we can meet tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll be having an 150th session. आपका 150वां सत्र कल होगा. Today it was 149th. So let's meet tomorrow. Jai Gurudev.